Hello and happy Friday, PASOLIVO family. We are here again with another episode of our Instagram show, and today we will be working with Christina, who is the person behind Eat, Drink, Play LA blog. This is exciting for a billion different reasons. Not only is she a world traveler and a recipe blogger and just amazing with food. If you follow her, you know, but her IG account has 10.3 thousand followers. So she knows what she's doing, and it is so exciting to have her come and work with us and work with our stuff to see what magic she will pull together. And I'll tell you what magic she's pulling together. I won't leave you on the edges of your seat. She's making a pistachio pasta with roasted tomatoes and truffle ricotta. So that's why I look down at my notes, because there's no way to memorize that. That is a lot of goodness for one show, and she's going to teach us how to do that. So the recipe will be on our IG, it'll be on our website, but that will be on Monday. So this will obviously go straight to our IG, and you can watch this over and over again and recreate what she's creating. But for now, you're going to have to wait for the full-blown recipe until Monday. So sorry. You can try to create it and see what happens. So we're just waiting for her to hop on for now. The items that we sent her and she pulled together are just a fantastic foundation for any cooking. So the truffle sea salt, something I cannot go without. Spicy Italian seasoning, and the garlic and basil. Extra, we've got these guys too. Woo! So she's got some good stuff to play with, and she's created some magic with them. Oh, I see a ceiling. Ah, I see Christina. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome, and thank you so much for being able to share your time and your genius with us. I'm super excited.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So I mean, I love the fact that you're a world traveler. That means that you've been able to taste all the different cuisines and pick and choose the good stuff, the real savory stuff to pull together from each cuisine and make your own. So I think that's a real important thing when you don't just have palate for one specific flavor profile. You've been tasting all over the world, traveling all over the world, and pulling all of that together. Can you say more about that?
Yeah, I've been all over the world. I mean, I cook all kinds of cuisines, from Mexican, Indian, Italian, Chinese, all of them. I mean, it goes far beyond that, mostly Middle Eastern, and Turkish, pretty much all over the world.
I think that's fantastic, and that also means that all of your followers get to really enjoy a huge spread of different ideas and thoughts, and really are supported in thinking outside of the box when cooking, which is huge, because you don't want to do the same thing over and over again. It gets boring.
Yes, for sure.
So how did you come up with this recipe? Because pistachio pasta with roasted tomatoes and truffle ricotta. I honestly don't think you could have pulled together more things that I'm in love with in one plate.
Well, I was in Italy this summer, and I had a dish pretty similar, but not really. And the flavor stayed in my mouth, and I really wanted to recreate something similar, and this is what I came up with.
Perfect. Without any further ado, please show us how to pull all of this together.
All right, so the first step, which is what's going to take the longest, is pretty much the tomatoes. And I bought these mini heirloom tomatoes from Trader Joe's.
Oh, perfect.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of the spicy Italian seasoning on top, as you can see. And then we're going to drizzle some of this amazing garlic olive oil on top. About 3 tablespoons. And the easiest way to get this done is we're just gonna toss it around like this. And it's gonna get mixed. And I've also preheated the oven to 400 degrees. So we're gonna put this in right now.
And that's just a mini baking dish type deal, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna bake them until they've like opened up a little and have some char marks on there. And we're gonna pull them out in like 15-20 minutes. They should be done.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And then I've already pre-boiled the water for the PASO because that takes a pretty long time. So we're gonna just salt the water, and we're gonna do some. We're gonna toss a lot of salt in there, and it's gonna be salty with the ocean. And then I don't really measure mine because we eat pasta a lot in our family, and we just use it in bulk. I have a 10 pound bag here, but about a pound is like a good like fistful.
Okay.
So we're gonna toss it in there to start boiling.
And what will that feed, like a family of 4 or a family of 2?
Yeah, we're a family of 4, but we go for seconds. You know, it's always always made in bulk. Leftovers are always good.
Absolutely.
So while that's boiling, I'm gonna make the base for our sauce, and I have my blender here, my food processor. I'm gonna add 1 cup of full raw pistachio shell, and I'm gonna add my 3 garlic cloves. And we're gonna put this on, and we're gonna let it blend. Hopefully it's not too loud. Sorry. There we go. All right, we're gonna. Just a little bit till it's fully blended. And then we're gonna open this guy. And we're gonna add in the basil olive oil. And we're just gonna do a good drizzle, about 4 or 5 tablespoons.
So why do you put it in after versus before?
Because I like the garlic, because it's whole garlic, I like it to become one with the pistachio before I put this in. It just gives it a little head start.
Yeah.
And then we're also gonna put in about half a lemon. We're just gonna squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in there, just to brighten up the color. And we're gonna close this back and blend it again until it's pretty much a paste. Now we're gonna just open it and bring it down so that everything gets well blended.
Technical difficulties.
A little bit, yeah.
Of course, right?
Of course.
Yeah, this stuff never happens at home, and then, of course, the camera's on, the sweat. There we go.
I'm gonna add a little bit of the garlic oil.
About how much do you think?
About 1 to 2 tablespoons, just to get it moving a little more. We're gonna do this about like 2 minutes. now this is done. We're gonna wait on this one, and we're gonna do the ricotta. So I'm gonna get the ricotta.
So far you've used the spicy Italian seasoning, which is pulled together locally here in Paso, small batch, organic, fresh, gorgeous, and also salt-free, surprisingly. But we're going to balance that out, I think, with a salt that's going to come up soon that you, I know, all recognize if you come to the tasting room.
Yes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour out this ricotta into a bowl. Oops.
You know how nice it is to see someone who's like a chef upon chefs and is doing like all of this stuff constantly, and the fact that, you know, things go wrong sometimes and sometimes it doesn't all end up in the bowl. It just makes the rest of us
so. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for doing that. I know you did that for us. You're making us feel normal, and I appreciate that.
On purpose.
Yeah.
So I prefer the whole milk ricotta cheese over the part skim. It's thicker, it's creamier, it's more delicious. So we're gonna just put that in a bowl, and then we're gonna add the truffle salt. I've already used half of it.
Yeah, it happens. This is a staple in my household.
The smell of it is so potent. Like, I love truffles, and this is just amazing.
It's such a clean salt too. I had one before I started working here that was kind of muddied with other flavors. This is white sea salt, black Italian truffle. That is it, and it's gorgeous. Very clean flavors.
Yes, and the truffle is very potent, so it's amazing. I use an extra step. You really don't have to because the truffle salt is so amazing, but I love this Tartufi Jimmy or Sabatino truffle zest.
Ooh.
And I just add a little bit of that on here just to give it that extra About a tablespoon is fine. And we just go ahead and just mix it up until it's infused. Might get all over the place. It's all fine. Just a good mix. Make sure it's all incorporated. And at this point, our pasta should be a little less than al dente is what I like to do, is because it's going to continue cooking in the sauce. So I rather leave it a little bit extra al dente. So I'm just going to go ahead and All right, perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop out as much of the pasta water as I can in this, because depending on the consistency you like, you're going to use about 3 to 4 cups. So I'm just going to put the cup in here and drain out as much of the sauce as I can.
So that water has starch in it, so it's going to respond differently than the tap water, for example, correct?
Starchy water, and it's salty, and it's just what I want. Okay, and I'm gonna get the other glove, and we're gonna drain the rest of it. All right, we got a couple of pieces. Okay, so we're gonna put the pot back onto the stove. I like to turn it off or keep it on low heat. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna empty out this pesto into the pot.
So I've always felt overwhelmed by creating pesto. When people say, "Oh, I made pesto," I'm like, stop right there. you're making it seem like something that could be manageable. You're doing this step by step for us, and I really appreciate it because it seems almost doable now.
It's very doable. It takes 5 minutes. You can make this base of the pesto 3 to 5 days before you can store it in the fridge. If you don't want to make this full amount, you can store the remainder in the fridge.
Oh wow! So is this something? We're coming into the holidays. Is this something that you could kind of jar up and give to people, you know, with the heads up, hey, use this within the week?
Yeah, definitely. This is something that you can totally jar up and share with whoever you want to share. And then what I'm going to do is, you see the color of the pesto is like a dark green right now?
Yes.
So when I add this pasta water, it's going to become that beautiful pistachio color. Just when it integrates, you're going to see how it's going to turn into a different kind of green. We're just going to start slowly and add about 2 cups of the pasta water. And you see how the color is changing into like this pistachio color?
Yes, like a milky consistency too.
Yeah, it's becoming creamy and it's becoming,
yes.
Yeah, so we're going to just make sure it's fully blended in. Just break down the pieces that are just staying full.
And so this is a reminder for people who are hopping on. The green is from the pistachios. You think pesto, you think basil. The basil olive oil is in there, but there are no basil leaves in there to create that green. That green is purely from fresh pistachios.
Correct.
Oh, and a little bit of
pistachio is becoming more of a creamy sauce right now. And I'm going to keep it on low so that it just gets together and combines, and we just break down the pieces of the pistachio that are clustered together because of the oil.
So we're looking at pistachios, garlic, fresh garlic that was blended down with our garlic olive oil and some basil olive oil.
Correct.
And our spicy Italian seasoning. So what amazing flavors, really fresh, because our olive oils, as everybody knows, small batch, brand new every single year, beautiful, fresh flavors. So award-winning quality. So you're getting that all together with fresh pistachios, fresh garlic. I mean, you cannot go wrong with this. That's why it looks so gorgeous.
Yes. So now that it's pretty much blended in, we're going to go ahead and go get the pasta. And we're just going to toss it in there. And we're going to mix it. And we're going to see if it needs additional water, which I think it still needs a little bit. So I'm going to add about 1 more cup.
And what made you realize it needed more water?
The pasta and the sauce weren't blending together. It wasn't easy to mix. You want it easy to mix. You want it a little bit watery so that the sauce can cover all the pasta.
Got it. So don't force it, people. You've got that water there for a reason.
Yes. And you might need more, you might need less. And this is also, the pasta is cooking in this water right now because it wasn't fully cooked. It was still a little al dente. So you want it to stay a little al dente so that it doesn't overcook. You want that amazing texture on the pasta.
So have you got it on low right now?
Yeah, it's on low. And we're just going to keep adding. I mean, I like it a little extra saucy, just so at the end everything is just blended well. So this water is not going to stay watery. It's starch water, so it's going to become creamy and it's going to stick to the pasta.
Yum. So I feel like everybody who's viewing right now is
don't waste that. It's magic.
Come to your door.
Don't waste that pasta water. No matter what pasta I cook, I always add the pasta water at the end. I always have a cup on the side, just with my pasta water. If you need to thin out the sauce, if you need to make the sauce more creamy to stick to the pasta, it's always good. Don't waste your pasta water.
I've been tossing it down the drain. Christina, oh my gosh, thank goodness you're here to help us.
It breaks my heart. Being in all over Italy, this is one trick that I learned. They always keep the pasta water. It's golden. It's golden water.
Yes, and I mean, when I saw you salt it, I get it now. It is an ingredient in itself.
Yes.
The pasta water is.
Yes, and I just add a sprinkle of the black pepper and mix it well.
All the viewers are saying it looks amazing and their mouths are watering.
Yes. And basically this is done. You just turn it off. It takes a couple of minutes. It's so easy. It's a quick weeknight, whenever meal. You want to have a party, you want an easy meal to serve your guests. This is an amazing dish and you won't regret it because it's, I believe, beyond restaurant quality, and it's nothing like you would find anywhere else.
Absolutely.
At this point, I think it's been about 10-15 minutes. Our tomatoes are still roasting, but I made a batch beforehand.
Genius. And I totally forgot about those tomatoes, so this is absolutely when the fire department would turn up at my house.
Yes, so now we're gonna just plate it because that's what, it's come time for that. Because that's how easy it is. It's really, really quick to get together. And I'm just gonna bring it over. And I'm gonna plate it. You can plate it, you can make it all fancy. It's gonna look fancy either way. You don't really have to plate it like fancy. Like I know people like to twirl their pasta. I do it when I'm doing a single serving, but if I want to do it bulk, I just pour it all into a plate. And we're gonna make sure you pour out all that amazing sauce. And then what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna use some tongs and just drop these little tomatoes all over. And make sure you use all the oils in it because it's just amazing with the taste of the spicy Italian seasoning and the garlic olive oil. It's just amazing. Just pour it on as much as you can.
So those are just heirloom tomatoes, mini heirloom tomatoes that were roasted up in the garlic olive oil with the seasoning.
Correct. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take the ricotta and we're just going to dollop it all around, however, wherever you want, just all over.
Look at those colors, guys. Oh.
It's the Italian flag on the plate. It's just.
I was going to say, yes.
It's a very Italian dish.
And I love that this was influenced by something you had in Italy this summer too. So it really speaks to, you know, your travels and your palate being able to pick up on all of that.
Food doesn't cease to, what do you call it? Sorry. It doesn't fail you when you're in Italy because everything is just amazing. But this one just stuck out and it was just amazing. And you're just ready to serve it.
Oh my gosh, that looks gorgeous. Guys, for those of us who didn't get to go to Italy this summer, this looks like a trip on a plate right now. That looks fantastic. Look how fresh and beautiful all the colors are. That's truffle ricotta, that's roasted tomatoes, and that's a pistachio pesto on that spaghetti that just looks so gorgeous. Wow. Yeah. Is that what your family's having tonight?
Yes, that is. That is. It pairs perfectly well with some red wine.
There you
And
go.
you could totally make this vegan and omit the ricotta. You can just sprinkle the truffle salt on top once you're done. You can use a vegan ricotta. I mean, you can add protein to this. You can fry some chicken, boil some shrimp, whatever floats your boat. I mean, you can have a steak next to this. It's just a perfect dish. It goes with literally anything. And the flavors are just so distinct with every bite that you taste every ingredient in it.
I mean, I love how you've kind of pulled it all together so you will cover everything every time you bite into it. I love the ideas of adding protein. It didn't even occur to me, but yeah, some grilled chicken, some shrimp, like you said, that sounds amazing on there. Wow. Thank you so much. Everybody's saying it looks yummy. Everybody's saying you look beautiful and you're talented and the best. So you've got quite a few fans out there.
Thank you.
Thank you so, so much for your time and this fantastic recipe, guys. That recipe is going to be online on Monday. So all of that, if you couldn't retain it all, if you weren't writing it down as she was saying, you can rewatch this, obviously, on our PASOLIVO Instagram. But the recipe is going to be on our PASOLIVO.com website on Monday. And then that bundle, I mean, I feel like, Christina, you're probably, with the basil olive oil, the garlic olive oil, the truffle salt, like you said, you've gone through a good amount already. You're probably going to play with this a lot more than just this plate, huh?
Yes. I've already come up with a few other recipes that'll be on the blog soon using the PASOLIVO products, and I'm so excited.
Yay! Well, thank you so much. And please, we invite you to come check out our tasting room. We've got Harvest coming up in November, and we would love to host you, to have you see how it all happens, because that's where you just fall in love. It would be amazing to have you.
I would love it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And all of you viewers, come check it out, because that's where you feel that ownership. You see how your olive oil is made, and it's pretty amazing. So we'd love to see you all there. And Christina, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your fantastic dinner. We're all jealous that we can't be at your door right now. But we will try to pull it together. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you hopefully on your blog with more goodies.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And guys, a reminder, this is Eat, Drink, Play LA blog. So follow Christina to get all of her insight and her just get into that brain of hers that's traveled all over. She's amazing. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Definitely a pleasure. Thank you.
Have a fantastic evening, guys. Bye, PASOLIVO fam.
Cheers.
Cheers.